Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are who has joined this webinar today. Thank you so much for your time. Today, the topic of our webinar today is again this is Krishna Chekuri from Silotech, and just going to go through webinar topic today is basically how TestEnsure, which is our homegrown platform, test automation platform, can help Infor customers or the companies who are using Infor as their ERP accelerate their test automation for their releases or for the patches. So that being said, mostly today's content or the webinar is um, kind of highlighting or the focusing towards highlighting the Infor side of it, but I just wanted to ensure that TestEnsure is not just for Infor specific test automation, but in general, it can be used for any web application that needs to be tested. So that being said, just moving ahead. So for people who are not aware of Infor, not everyone is aware of Infor. Infor is like a small medium enterprise ERP, which has the standard features out of the box. As any other ERP like Oracle or SAP, you name Odoo, or you name to name a few, right? So that helps companies to manage their processes, their systems, their business users, their customers, their HR. So it has multiple modules from procurement to human resources to payments to manufacturing, based on the company, the area of business the company is in, right, into the industry. These modules can be set up or created for in the ERP perspective. Okay, so that is in a nutshell about the ERP, Info ERP, and where TestEnsure comes into picture is you. So when you have a cloud suite, most of the cloud suite application ERP instance, and that is being used by a company, and you have which is basically Info by default standard feature set, out of the box features that it has, and of course the data element would be a little different based on the company to company, right? But other than that, the workflow and everything would be almost the same, at least to the major part, and minor changes or extensions that if someone has some deviations to their workflow, they would make those changes. So that being said, for all these and the Info releases the patches every month, like a monthly patch where it has maybe a bug fix or maybe new feature enhancement added to the product in ERP. And companies have, with our experience, companies have big time trouble, catching up with that, and making sure they have tested the application and making sure they are ready for the patch, right? So that being said, a lot of resources, manual or automation, otherwise is put into business folks do most of the testing, and to ensure that the application is the patch is good to go for the release, and it's not breaking any application, any feature functionality of the system, right? And of course, for this manual testing, we have a lot of more people involved. So why I'm saying all this is because TestEnsure, we have built out of a box pre-built test scripts automation test scripts. That covers most of the feature set of the Infor, right? Infor LN, EAM, so on and so forth. Here the topic is where you can just by plug and play kind of thing, where just need to have what we call calibration. So what it takes is to small, maybe a week or maybe less than a week calibration time, where we get the data from the company data, and also the URLs and login credentials, so on and so forth, for the non-prod environment that we plug into our the TestEnsure framework, the database where that accesses this information to run the out-of-box standard flows scenario execution happens on that particular environment, right? And of course it is integrated with the tools like Jira and so on and so forth, where I can pull in test trail, and also report portal that will churn out reports to out of the execution. So, so that's a very high level what I'm going to say. So, what is it? We have built that center of excellence where I'm corely focusing on accelerator. So here in the case of Infor LN automation, we have the framework is supports 100% any 10.7, 10.4 and above Infor LN instance, be it on-prem or cloud suite, right? So what benefit are we going to get is that by having these accelerators, quickly I'm going to go through those what exactly they are. So like you have for pre-built automation scripts, they are reusable test automation scripts for the maximum test coverage from end to end, be it a procure to pay or order to cash or plan to deliver or record to report. So most of the people who are into ERP or who does the ERP as an end user or in the company understands what I'm these the terminology what I'm talking about, or any other ERP in the sense, right? So again, based on the company, and usage, different modules are set up with the be it finance, procurement. Typically, it's going to be finance, procurement, manufacturing, and sales. And of course, if there's no manufacturing, of course, there's it's not applicable. But so we have built the pre-built scripts that the stand for to execute for the standard flows, right? For basically, if you want to procure to pay, you first create a sales order, then it goes through the approval, then goes through the order creation, and all the until the payment, which is finance. So it's basically it spans through across different modules for this the scenario, right? It's an end-to-end flow. So what kind of a value add is it going to get is you have ready-made test scripts that are automation that supports Infor LN pre-built test scripts, the scenarios that are out of the box, and if there's anything that the company has customized in their process, so that will be obviously highlighted with execution results. So basically, if there is something which is different from the standard, then the script would fail at that point, and then you go through the reports of execution and see that, okay, here this something has failed. So there's a field, there's a workflow added, there's a number of things can be there, right, as a part of customization based on the business requirement. So so that that those changes can be we call it maintenance. So we can create a new extension to the existing out of the box standard script, where we can add these extra fields, validation or whatnot, data entry field, or what it can be anything, right? So maybe there's some other factory track involved, or something other, or CPQ involved in the process, so on and so forth. So all these can be easily maintainable, and can be added because of all these accelerators I'm talking about. So one of these accelerators are the pre-built scripts. So that being said, it is the as a TestEnsure framework itself, it's a keyword and data driven. So basically, the input of data can be is done from JSON, and then from the database itself, and there's Excel that it can read from where the data is pulled into, and pushed into the ERP from the execution standpoint. So, and it's a CI/CD, continuous integration, continuous deployment. The framework itself supports all that, and where you have basically any web application, as I mentioned, it's not necessarily Infor, but I'm just giving today's webinar kind of highlighting the Infor, just to garner interest in Infor, because Infor as actually has stopped their task platform, which is automation as a test automation as a service platform. Officially, they have stopped it. So there is at this point there is no real tool or any support from Infor perspective from in the automation space, right? So, and then from our knowledge, I don't see any other tool out there, or that is supporting InfoLN test automation as well. So most of the folks are either holding on to the manual testing, or very rudimentary application testing using the Infor core bflow, which doesn't really work from the automation space, because there's so much of maintenance that is required, and so much of time need to be spent using the bflow, right? So that being said, TestEnsure, we have basically we have functional team as well, who are core of from Infor or ERP folks that help us build and enhance these out of the box the standard flows, and our additions to the automation from the customization standpoint. So there is a very quick time to market, time to market to make these changes, and get on to the automation and execution as well. So that kind of helps us beat the market, right? So that is one of the things I wanted to highlight. And then of course, the from TestEnsure, it is basically one stop portal for test automation management. Again, this kind of a high level, like snapshots of what I just grabbed before this webinar. Like you can see, you can create a project because this is a real deal. It's not like something on the slide or something I'm talking about. This is a working portal that supports what I've just mentioned in the past 10 minutes or so. So I'm just this highlighting the info flows, some of them that have highlighted from the release project perspective. So we create a project, InfoLN, or anything other than the any other application that that needs to be tested. Then you have and each application would have multiple modules. So in this case, procure to pay, order to cash, so on and so forth. And then for each a module, you have n number of test cases. So all the test cases will be in the execution file, that is a JSON driven file, where it traverses through the JSON and basically extracts the number of test cases in that, and then number of test steps. So that is directly given to the end user who's uploading these execution file, and then you can pick and choose what needs to be executed for this particular execution. Maybe you just want to execute procure to pay, or you just want to execute smoke test, then you just select the smoke test as a tag. Again, no, maybe I did not mention. So tagging and grouping is one of the core features of TestEnsure. Basically, that will help you perform test execution that that are mostly like kind of towards your goal of what needs to be tested, right? So there is always a dependency, or there's a bug fix, or there's a patch, or there's a functional enhancement, which affects only not the whole application, maybe some components of it. So that by tagging and grouping, you can ensure that you don't have to do regression test all the, like, say, 500 test scripts, but maybe you want to you will be executing only 50 of them, because these are considered as impacted test cases, so, or impacted scenario, or impacted modules. So that being said, so I can go on and on with the feature set of what TestEnsure has to offer. But again, at the end of the day, once your execution is complete, the execution results will be displayed with number of pass failed, and of course even the screenshots of the execution where where at the point of failures, so that the development team can take a quick look at the logs and the errors and everything, and the troubleshooting time and resolution time will be shortened dramatically, because all the information that is required is readily available in TestEnsure, and you don't have to go and check in 10 different systems, 10 different server logs, and all that stuff. So it makes the whole cycle very tight, and smaller, or shorter, so that the time to market can be achieved, and uh, at the end of the day, releasing a quality product, and not having end users suffer with some features or functionality that they are of the application or ERP not available or not working as expected. So so these are the things TestEnsure has to offer, and we're happy to help you give in-depth demos, or we can go through the, if anyone from who's in for users can would please reach out to us, and we are happy to cater your test automation needs, and any other company by the can be we can service them as well, not necessarily just go to Infor. Okay, so we'll have subsequent more webinars, and I will be able to dig or have uh, a deep dive into TestEnsure, and um, give more information to the audience. Thank you so much for joining today. Again, this is Krishna Chekuri. Appreciate your time, and we'll any questions, anything that you are interested in, we are happy to help, and address those things. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining.